He then turned to look the other way and saw the marathoner becoming a speck in the distance, but also saw a small form bounding across the street. It was Farah. She paused outside of an alley and had her head turned to look straight at him, but then looked away and disappeared into the darkness. He stood there still, just shocked at what could have happened and confused on why Farah was even there. The sudden memory of his sister talking about how black cats were unlucky and were associated with the devil and stole the souls of those who were about to die flashed through his mind, or something superstitious like that. And he really wasn't inclined to believe her then, but now, this was no accident. This was absolutely no accident. He had gone back inside the cafe shaken by his new revelation, but upon locking eyes with an anxious psycho coworker, his anger found its way back again. But he wasn't able to tell her off publicly this time, as he was swiftly pulled into the manager's office to be reprimanded on his actions. He tried to input his findings on why he did it, but they either passed it off as paranoia or blew it off completely. It was absolute bullshit, and so he decided to quit. They tried to stop him and make him reconsider, saying how he was the best well-rounded worker they've ever had, and they would turn the other cheek on this with just a small punishment. But he was not about to work with someone who was most likely going to hurt someone, or worse, over petty reasons, and just about get away with it with no punishment whatsoever. So he took off his uniform and walked straight out of the door, taking the back door to not garner any attention from the patrons, especially after the incident. He walked across the street and began aimlessly following the sidewalk with no destination in mind. He felt eyes on him as he left his cafe's block, but thought nothing more on it when it ebbed away. In passing, he peered into the alley. Farah had disappeared, but of course didn't see her anywhere in the darkness. He shivered as a cold wind blew through, and he remembered how he left his coat back home. He huffed out a plume of his own breath, made visible only through the cold. He didn't look up at anyone he passed by, and thankfully no one approached him, probably due to his appearance, but he didn't bother. He didn't know what he looked like, but if it was enough to repel people, it was fine by him. He just continued wandering around his city in his own head, not wanting anything to do with reality and how cruel it all was upon him. What did he even do to deserve this? How his own family turned their back on him. His parents left, yet still ask him for money that he barely even has. His brother ghosted him out of nowhere so he doesn't have anyone else to really confide in, and his sister tried to kill him last night. Whether from torment or a heart attack, he wanted nothing to do with anyone anymore. He's done.